feel safe, secure, dignified life as equal citizens of Sri Lanka, and what India would, which has already done substantial amount, what more, how India would be willing to collaborate with it, whether in terms of setting up special economic zone between, and all those things, and resolve issues like, which create problems like fishermen on both sides.
Right.
That Vigneswaran has spoken against the Tamil Nadu fishermen. That they have better trawlers and they have longer reach and they deny our fishermen of the joint mechanism that is being worked out. Because those things, let's not forget one thing. We are talking to Pakistan, where you have a disturbed border, you have they leave no, they believe in strategy of 1,000 cuts, they do a Mumbai to you,
Right.
and we nicely have talks with them and interact with them. So what is, I would hope, and if it does not happen, that will be unfortunate, but the next best thing is the president or the vice president. Fortunately, at this time, we have both. President has stature which very few have, and that his voice, his political acumen, his long experience as a minister, including external affairs and defense and finance, all three portfolios, that they know that in importance he is no less than anybody. Or fortunately, the vice president has the diplomatic background,
Right.
and is able to hold his own equally with any head of the government. Then you have these two options. Assembly is concerned, you have already conveyed that you are not going to follow that resolution because they wanted no participation by India at all, of any kind.
Right.
And you have already announced that the foreign minister will go. If you, for whatever reason, choose that PM will not go, which I hope is not the case, you must, of course, engage.
Okay.
Call all the Tamilian leaders or send Mr. Salman Khurshid, have a off-the-record meeting that, look, here are very larger interests of our country involved.
Absolutely.
And let us look at, and the larger interests of Sri Lankan Tamils will be better served by our being represented.
Right.
But these are the...
And with the
next-
meeting taking place in Asia and in India,
and
having
it is an, and he
important, right.
said right in the beginning, it is not an event of Sri Lanka. We are participating in an international conference where Sri Lanka happens to be the venue.
Absolutely. But Mr. Kapoor, this is not the first time we are faced with a dilemma on Sri Lanka. We discussed the UNHRC vote also, and this may not be the last. Don't you think it's time we come up with, a proper Sri Lanka policy on like, where do we stand on issues such as the Tamil aspirations?
I mean, this is something that has been tried from the bipartisan commission which Parthasarathy headed about the Tamils in Sri Lanka. There have been time and again great amount of brainstorming and even you can say policy initiatives by the government of India. We remain where we were because the fact of the matter is Tamilians are in an independent country. So we might have certain amount of interest because they have a relationship with the Tamils who stay in our country, but
Right.
at the end of it they are Sri Lankan citizens. So there is only so far you can go and not beyond a point.
Right.
But the thing is, coming back to the issue that you were raising earlier, I think the Prime Minister per se doesn't room to maneuver. You look at the sort of political landscape at the moment. They took a decision in about Telangana, which is a neighboring state of Andhra Pradesh, that has been on fire. I'm sure great amount of intelligence input would really go into deciding whether the Prime Minister should travel to Sri Lanka.
Right.
If they think that the state government which is opposed to it, and you have the opposition parties also up in arms, and they can create a great amount of agitation and violence against this particular move, then any country in the world would actually think twice before doing it. I mean, they would think that they could probably cement or build up relationship with the Sri Lankan government later on. First of all, they need to douse their own fires. So it's not so easy as of now, because the Prime Minister's own stature has also lowered because of a variety of reasons. I don't think he's in a kind of authority that he was earlier in trying to say that this is in national interest, that we have to do it. And this is a shortcoming which has been visible for quite a while. We've become far more inward looking than we should have had, you know. And despite the fact that our region or our neighbors have been expecting a lot from India, they want leadership from India, which we've not been able to provide because we have our own compulsions. And on the Tamilan issue, I think more so, because at some stage you need to, if this party wants to come back to power, they need to cobble together an alliance which can get them certain amount of seats. Last time, whatever seats they got from Tamil Nadu were good enough to, you know, add to whatever they got. And this time, if Congress becomes a no-no and nobody wants to join hands with them, so lesser the parties become whatever minus they had last time.
Okay.
So let's see how it all unfolds, you know.
Dr. Manoharan, how do you think the PM can perform this balancing act?
Okay. It's an interesting question. Balancing comes out because there are two sides, so you don't know which side to take, so then that can be used in the so that also brings in the question of dilemma. Why there is a dilemma? Then only the question of balancing comes. The dilemma comes because in Sri Lanka there is a fault line between the Sinhala regime and Tamil community. At the same time, from Indian point of view, there is a kind of at least disconnect between New Delhi and Chennai. So this is where the actors come into play, bring in larger question of dilemma. So that is where I think New Delhi has to be a bit more clearer on what it wants when it comes to Sri Lanka. I think you were mentioning about, do we have a Sri Lanka policy? I would turn around and ask, do we have a neighborhood policy? Do we have a policy of neighborhood? But that doesn't mean that we are dealing Sri Lanka in blank. Yes, we are clear on certain things like, yes, the unity, territorial integrity, sovereignty of Sri Lanka should not be questioned, should be respected and safeguarded, all those things. At the same time, the rights, sentiments, dignity of Tamils should also be taken into consideration. So this again brings into dilemma. I think we got to be very clear, and then only the balancing comes.
Okay.
Once we try and grain or drill into the Sri Lankan regime that it's in your interest that you take care of your own community, then I think that is where I think our diplomacy, our political sagacity come into place. So we have not actually been successful in doing that. That's what we got to. I think that is where all these opportunities we got to use, either that be diplomatic opportunity or whatever economic opportunity, whatever the military component of it, we got to use that successfully and try and tell Colombo that it's in your interest that you keep your house in order. At the same time, we got to communicate to our own constituency, I mean Tamil Nadu here, telling that unless we engage Sri Lanka, it's not